Did he feel like uh, stopping taking the chemo would be like giving up?
Absolutely. The day that we decided to stop taking chemotherapy, I remember a doctor kind of telling us that it wasn't going to be worth it anymore, that it was going to be making him, he was too weak. He was too weak to go through more treatment. And that was a really hard day for us to realize this was it. And it was a whole new way of thinking to wrap our minds around. We're no longer in this fight mode. It's time to live, which sounds crazy, but it was. And it was, in a way, such a weight was lifted off of us, because it was like, we don't know how much time we have, but we better just enjoy this time. But cancer is, the moment you find out about that diagnosis, everything goes into, you're in survival mode.
Was he considering his family, and did family have an influence on him to take the aggressive treatment?
Yes. So Joe went through a really intense surgery. We traveled from Orlando, Florida to Houston, Texas to be there, and we went through all of our savings, all of our time off, everything for him to have this surgery done. And I truly believe that if he didn't have me and he didn't have our daughter on the way, I'm not sure he would have gone through it, because he was in the hospital for 46 days and went right into chemotherapy after that, and all the complications and everything. And I often wondered if he wished he hadn't done it because of all that he had to go through. But at that time, it was a very selfless decision, and I think he really did so much of it for us, and he wanted to make it to the birth of our daughter. He was told he was stage 4 when we were just a month pregnant. So everything about that became about making it to the day she was born. And then once she was born, it became about making it till she was crawling, making it till the next step. And so that final decision to stop everything, I think that was the hardest thing. But it was crazy, because he looked at me and he said, you know, she's a baby, and I'd almost rather her not remember this and not remember me than her be 4 or 5 and have to lose her dad. So it kind of became, there was a lot that went into it. I feel like we have really lost sight of the person that is diagnosed, and it becomes so much about the next treatment and the next pill and the next stage that we forget that we're taking time these people have with their family, feeling good and making memories. And it's really hard, because you are in this fight and you're ready to go and you want to do it. But I remember looking at him, and he was so thin and he was so depressed, and everything that made him a man and the leader of his family had been taken from him. And you're looking at a 30-year-old guy with all this life to live. And I thought, what are we doing to him? Why are we putting him in this chair to get this chemo and taking another pill? And then it became another pill, because then we're managing the side effects of that treatment, and we're managing this, and we're managing this, and the sores in the mouth, and the problems he'd have with his ostomy bags. And we have lost that, what life is all about when it comes to cancer treatments in so many ways. The truth is, we're all going to die. And I think that an ounce of grace and all of that, I feel really lucky that we had a doctor that eventually sat us down and said, I don't think this is worth it for you anymore. I don't think you need to put yourself through it, because that allowed us to feel that way too.